Chinese people themselves are the biggest victims of the Chinese regime. Is that fair to say?
Oh, they're the first victim, and they're the largest victim. And it's really too sorrowful to think about what the Chinese people have suffered for generations now. And those stories need to be told. Think of the famine. Think of the Cultural Revolution. Think of what it was like to be brought out on a stage before everyone you went to school with, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, your friends, and to be berated. Think what it would be like to be pregnant and to be forced to have an abortion. Think of how impotent you would feel as a husband or as a father or as a brother to watch this happen to your wife, your sister, your mother. These are sorrowful stories. I used to have an internship program in Hollywood for Chinese students. And I remember one day one of my employees got sick and I had to take the big white van down to the airport to pick up the students from China as they landed. They had this long flight. I brought them to their living quarters where they were going to live. And the first thing one of the young women asked is if she could go to a bookstore. And I took her to the Barnes & Noble on 3rd Street Promenade there in Santa Monica. And we lost her. We couldn't find her. We went to eat. It had been hours. And then, well, where is she? And I went walking around the bookstore. And I saw her sitting with a book on her lap. She had piles of books next to her, tears in her eyes. And she looked up at me. She was in the Asia Pacific section. She looked up and she said, the world knows more about us than we know about ourselves. And that was quite sorrowful. The world needs to know these stories, not from books, but from art, from film. And, the world needs to know what this wicked ideology of evil is inflicted on the people of China for generations. Here's the good news, that ideologies of evil, regimes based on ideologies of evil, collapse. Because evil is a deprivation, and it cannot sustain itself. So you saw Nazi Germany's Thousand-Year Reich lasted not even 13 years, Soviet Union did last 70 years. I believe the CCP is coming to an end. I'm really looking forward to a free China. I'm really looking for a China where they can tell their stories. I'm looking for a Tibet that can breathe free. I'm looking for the Uyghurs who can breathe free. And it's coming, and then the stories will come.